Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are finally getting into that Starlight three-way that I promised you a long time ago. So let's get at it. Before we get in today's video, please do me that favor, like, comment, subscribe. Helps us out a ton and we appreciate the support. But let's get into this freaking three-way. I am super excited about this. For those of you who aren't tracking what this three-way is, I have 3 different Starlights in my collection. They're all finished Starlights, and you know what? They're all around the same age, same proof. So I thought it would be a great plan to kind of do a side-by-side, a blind, if you may, and figure out which one is best and which kind of finish I like the best. So this is not only going to highlight which one of them I like, but also relatively what kind of finishes I'm more into at the moment, in theory at least. So what we have in this flight, we got a seal box Starlight sherry finish pick. This is 110.2 proof and it's 4 years old. Then we got another seal box pick, which is cognac finished. It's 111, a little bit hotter, and it's also 4 years old. And then after those two, we have our Storytime Port Night pick, which is 110 proof and it's 4.5 years old. So really close in age for all of these, really close in proof. They're just different, finishes. So which one do I like more? I think I'm going to go port because I've always gone port, but we'll see. So in front of me, I have 3 different Glens. You can't see them because they're on the table in front of me, but they're in front of me. I had Olivia randomly pour them and spin them around. A is going to be sherry, B is port, and C is cognac. The little letters are on the bottom of the Glens, so I don't know which one's which, so we'll just start off with whatever is the first one, going left to right in my orientation on the nose. Ooh, this one's sweet. Sweet, very fruity, cherries, apples, little bit of a cinnamon note. Cinnamon note's getting higher. It's like apple cinnamon. A little bit of Apple Jacks with like a plum. Yep, plum Apple Jacks. I like it. Let's get into glass number 2. Ooh, this one's grapey. Grapier. More grapes. The first glass is a little bit more of like a cinnamon fruity note. This one's more of like a fruit punch cocktail. Whatever's in glass 2 is like just screaming like Hawaiian punch. Little bit of almost maybe like a nutmeg spice in there, if there is any sort of spice, but honestly, it's mostly that just freaking fruit punch. Just some fabulous fruit punch. So far in the nose, I'm leaning glass number 2 over glass number 1 just because it is so much fruitier, has a lot more going on. It's not just like apple, cinnamon, maybe a little bit of a plum note. It's a huge fruit cocktail, Hawaiian punch, fantastic explosion. Let's get on to glass number 3. Ooh, this one's more savory, a little bit more herbal. This one's less intense, a little bit more savory. I'm getting like a little bit of a pear and like an earthy note. Way spicier, for sure some nutmeg in here. Glass number 3 is a whole different category. Glass number 1 and 2, they're super fruity, fruit explosions, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. This one's savory. It's not as explosive with the fruitiness. This is more of like a light, like peary, cinnamon, spicy. But it's balanced all at the same time because it's not being overblown. It's very sweet caramels, pears. It's very inviting, almost like a dilly note. I know none of these are ryes, but I'm getting like a dilly note on this too. Man, I'm kind of torn. I don't know. Like glass number 3, it's out there. It's different compared to the rest, but it's different in a pleasing, pleasant way. Honestly, all 3 of these are phenomenal picks. But let's get into glass 3 on the palate. Ooh, yeah, that's savory. Savory, earthy, herbal, nice pear, vanilla. There's a little bit of a tanginess, like almost like a what is that? Like a white cherry? Yeah, like a white cherry in there. It's very sweet, has a nice little bit of a fruity note in there, a nice savory note. It honestly just kind of hits everything you want in a good quality whiskey. Let's get on the palate of glass number dos. Yeah, that is just an insane fruit cocktail. And honestly, that is one of my favorite things about finishing. You can get some stuff you will not get on a normal whiskey or just like a normal aging process without finishing it. You're like losing so much of that flavor. Like I bet this without finishing would be a whiskey. With finishing, it's amazing. It's a huge fruity explosion. Glass number 2 is just an amazing fruit cocktail explosion. Let's get into glass number 1 on the palate. It's exactly what I said it was on the nose. It's apples and cinnamon. It's an apple cinnamon tart. Ooh, wow. I like this. So I have my Victor, but I don't have my second place. My Victor clear ahead is whatever glass number 2 is. Glass number 2 is fantastic. That being said, glass number 1 and 3, they're kind of teetering. Like, I like the apple cinnamon, and then I like the peach savoriness. I think I have my decision as far as which ones I like. Obviously, glass number 2, way above. Second place, I'm giving it glass number 1. And then really, really closely, glass number 3. They're just different things. Like glass number 1 is very cinnamon, apple, like fruity explosion. And then 3 on the other hand it's like fruity and savory all at the same time. Honestly, as far as glass number 1 and 2, I don't know which one is which. I think glass number 3 is for sure the cognac finished one, just because the only other cognac ones I've had are a little bit more savory and a little bit less fruity. And you can kind of just tell on the color difference. These two are very, very dark, and this one's light comparatively. So, I mean, we tried to blind them, but, you know, it is what it is. You're never perfect. That being said, again, my order is glass number 2, 1, and then 3 following up. But all of these were really, really great whiskeys. And if you can get your hands on any Starlight finished whiskeys ever, I strongly encourage you to do so. But it is time to figure out which one is the winner. And we should figure out what's last place first, glass number 3. Which is C, which is going to be the cognac. Cognac finished last place. Again, not surprised. That's kind of my least favorite of these 3. Not blind and blind, it's still my least favorite. But I do like cognac finished stuff, and I do think it brings something different that not a lot of them do. I think I just found myself enjoying cognac finished stuff a lot more when it's blended, like triple finish, like cognac and sherry finished or something like that. That's usually when I find myself really loving a whiskey that has cognac finished on the label. And then the Victor, skipping past second place, going straight to the lead, is B, which is going to be port. So that means the port night, the port finished storytime pick is my favorite, which again, this kind of actually followed my, my ideas and thoughts unblind. This was a very, very expectant blind actually. Second place obviously is A, which is the sherry. That sherry finish one, I really like the port and the sherry did really, really well. The cognac is just, I don't know. The Starlight cognac just, it's okay. It's okay compared to the other 2. Objectively, I think these are all 3 amazing whiskeys, but I think the cognac just, it doesn't compare the same way that these other 2 do, because they're like huge fruit cocktail explosions, apple, cinnamon, like there's some spice and fruity characteristics, where the cognac is, it's just a little flat. That being said, I liked all of these. Again, if you find any sort of Starlight bottles out there, especially finished Starlights, I strongly encourage you to pick them up. I think I'm just more of a port and sherry finish kind of guy than I am a cognac finish. But that's a wrap for this video. Leave me a comment down below which one of these three, if you have all three of these, or if you've had similar products, which one of these three would be your favorite? Also, what are some other finished whiskeys I need to check out? I'm always chasing more finished whiskeys, so if you have any suggestions, please let me know down below. Also, please do us that favor, check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Patreon. The links for all that stuff is down there below. That's a wrap for this video. Cheers. We'll see you later.